Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Are you in need of a outpatient infusion center that's not affiliated with a hospital? One might be closer than you think. Today I have the great pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Carrie Valtiera. Did I say that right, Carrie?
You did. Yes, thank you.
Awesome. We're happy to have you on the show. Please tell us all about your outpatient infusion center.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, so we recently opened in January. We're an outpatient medical infusion center located in Loveland. And we're specializing in the administration of IV infusion or injection that are all physician prescribed. So these are drugs that are ordered by providers, and we provide them in our center, in our space as an outpatient option. And really catering to the patient from a atmosphere standpoint. We have private suites, semi-private suites, noise canceling headphones, heated blankets, TVs, tablets, snacks, beverages, you name it. We have it, and we're truly just looking to change the way in which we provide infusion care, trying to provide an elevated experience, if you will.
Carrie, how did you get into this business?
Yeah, I've been in healthcare about 25 years. I myself actually started serving meals to residents that were a part of assisted living in a local hospital where I grew up, and started there at 15 and all the way up to working as a senior director at an academic corporate medical institution. And quite honestly, I've seen a lot of incredible experiences for patients. And I've seen a lot of unfortunate, heartbreaking gaps in the healthcare space, and for myself personally and family and friends. And at the end of the day, this was an area that I felt had some pretty big gaps in the experience. And just thought there has to be something different. There has to be something better for these patients who are chronically ill and frequently getting infusions and injections, and they deserve a different experience. So
what are some myths or misconceptions in your specific niche of helping people in medicine? I'm hoping you're going to say what we talked about before we started recording.
Yes. Honestly, I would say patients have a choice. Patients have a voice. Patients have a choice. And you have to keep pushing in this industry, and there are options out there, and part of what I hope to do, and part of why we started Sweet Health, was to provide those options to patients. I think all too frequently patients, at the end of the day, they do what they're told, and if they're told there's no option, or if they're told they have to go here, they have to do this, vast majority of patients are just gonna they're gonna do that. They're gonna do what they're told, and there are options. There are options for patients. There are, the ability to not have to go to a hospital, not have to sit in a hospital setting for your infusion care. You can come outpatient, and honestly, outpatient is about 40% more affordable than hospital-based care. And don't get me wrong, hospitals, obviously they serve a purpose, and obviously some of our sickest patients end up in those areas, but you don't have to go to the hospital for these services, and there are options. And my hope is to really educate the community that you do in fact have a voice and you have a choice. And I want to be here to help patients find that.
We know that marketing is the heart of every business. Who are your target customers, and do they know that they need you? And
Yes.
How are you reaching out to them now?
Yeah, it's two different routes here. So ultimately, we have to have a referral from the provider. So we partner very closely with these referring physicians who have these patients who have these chronic conditions. So we partner with those providers to let them know that there is an outpatient option. Wait times are much lower outpatient than they might be hospital-based services. So we really work with them to get those orders. We at the end of the day have to have that order. But the other piece is marketing and partnering with the community. Unfortunately, where we are now, everybody seems to know somebody who has an autoimmune condition, or know somebody that knows somebody, if it's not themselves that has it. And there's a lot of opportunity to help spread that communication throughout the community. Patients or friends and family that, you don't have to go to the hospital. So we're kind of working both angles. Even if a patient calls me and they hear about us and they want to move their infusion to us, we still have to have that order from the referring physician. So we help the patient walk through that. We're happy to call on behalf of the patient, but ultimately we still need that referral. So we do build up and work very closely, building our relationships with those referring
Does
physicians.
that give you all the business you need, or is there some other preemptive marketing strategy that you have for reaching customers that might not know they have chronic conditions that need your service? Or are you completely dependent on just, are you completely happy with just what's coming in from the referrals?
No, we're definitely trying to expand that marketing piece. I think the marketing is truly endless because patients, again, do have a voice and they have a choice. The more that we do pursue those levels of marketing, we are seeing a lot of success from that. I think the opportunity is kind of endless because there's constantly opportunity out there to get these patients. But more and more, we do this because we want the patient to see that there's a different type of experience for them.
And I'm sure there's so many unique success stories that people don't think are possible for them. And have you ever thought about podcasting to reach people with this?
I have not. This is actually my first podcast.
Can't tell.
So yeah, no. This is my first go at a podcast. Never thought about it. I definitely think it is a huge opportunity. And again, like I have a lot of passion in just wanting patients to have the experiences they deserve, because I've seen some heartbreaking gaps take place, and healthcare is very confusing. Navigating healthcare, whether you're sick or you're helping a family member who's sick through the process, it is incredibly confusing and time consuming for a lot. And truly, we're just here to try to make that difference for the patient.
I can feel that. What do you do for fun outside of helping people this way?
Well, I've jumped on that pickleball train.
You're far too young for that.
At all?
I said you're far too young for pickleball.
Oh no, there's no age on this game. So no, I've gotten into the pickleball craze. And outside of that, I just truly enjoy everything that the outdoors of Colorado has to offer.
Me too.
Yeah.
Carrie, tell our listeners one thing they should absolutely take away from this interview about Sweet Health. And by the way, that's spelled SUITE, health, for those of you that have a sweet tooth out there and might have misspelled that. Tell us one takeaway that people should have from this interaction, this podcast.
Yeah, I think, again, I hate to sound like a broken wheel, but it's truly advocate for yourself. At the end of the day, it's your health. You have a choice, and you can choose whatever path you want. Like, the providers are going to guide you, and you can be a part of that conversation. But it truly is, you have a voice and you have a choice, and there are options for you. And we're excited to bring this to Northern Colorado as an outpatient resource for patients.
Carrie, what are all of the different ways that people can find Sweet Health online through social media and a phone number?
Yep. So they can reach us at 970-315-1891, or our website at www.mysweethealth.com. We're also on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, and we're on Instagram as well under Sweet Health, SUITE.
Well, Carrie, we really appreciate you being on the show, and we wish you and Sweet Health the very best moving forward.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpfortcollins.com. That's gnpfortcollins.com, or call 970-438-0825.